So I just came back from filing taxes. And one part of me feels excited and happy that at least I got that done and on time. And a part of me is still like confused as far as child tax credit, uh, what the school kind of gives back at the end of the year and all types of shit, like loans and credit as a student, like student credit and whatnot. So um, I was kind of just asking a lady that helped me file those type of questions, and I wanted to claim my boys, but obviously their father already filed taxes, and it shows up because I couldn't claim them. So she suggested, the obvious. Next time, try filing early or earlier, or apply for a tax PIN number for them. So I'm excited about that. Um, and hopefully that helps if anyone has a similar problem. But it felt great. So I was able to open up my W-2 in front of her because, like I mentioned in my previous videos, I thought that someone had scammed me. Um, and I mentioned the issue to her. I showed her the printed document that, I printed out what I saw on the app. And she says that they do that all the time. But what I don't understand is I started filing with them, I think 2021. So that was after the whole coronavirus and everything. So I believe 2021 was like a special year for taxes. And then 2022 was kind of more strict. Um, and 2020, 2019, I didn't claim my dependents, which I should have then because I was working. I was working more. I made more. No, 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 maybe not. Maybe I didn't make more because I did work less. Um, yeah, I didn't work more. I worked less, or just about the same. But anyway, 2019, I worked a couple of months. 2020, I worked a couple of months throughout the year. So I like spaced out some of the months. So it's about the same, but um, I should have claimed them. So when I applied for work, I didn't claim them, which is a mistake. I should have claimed them from jump. Um, and so that has to do with my amended returns. That is the whole point why I decided to claim them afterwards, so that they can realize that that was a mistake that I did. Um, with that whole W-4 form. And 2021 was fun because they were giving out the credits because of coronavirus and stuff like that. So that was interesting. But then 2022, it got more strict and I started school. And so all the credits and um so I ripped up the envelope that my mother sent me because, like I said, I wanted to do it in front of the tax person because I was like bugging out. I didn't know who filed for me and whatnot. I don't know if the was bugging or someone on that end or whatever. And she was like, they do that all the time, blah blah blah. So I told her, I was uncomfortable with that, and that's the main reason why I decided to file with a person instead of filing alone. Um, if I didn't file with her, I was gonna purchase the software and then file like that. But what else? So then as I'm showing her the paper, the document that I printed with the information that they had submitted, someone submitted on behalf of me or whatever. I printed two copies, one for me, and I thought she was gonna need a copy, but she didn't. And so behind it was my 1098 form. I don't know why the fuck I stapled it, but because I was gonna show her, I guess I stapled it to like to not leave it or remember that it was there. But when I was preparing my documents a few days ago, I didn't even think to go over the Cash App document. I saw it there because it printed out in color, and I printed out 2 copies, and I didn't even think that there were more sheets behind it. So that was weird. And I kind of like ripped it out because I did staple it, and I showed it to her. So thank God that happened. And I just felt weird, like that video where I'm talking about like my missing bras and shit like that. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm glad I found it. And so I felt bad because I was accusing Babe, and I'm glad that, I found it. I'm glad it's not in nobody's possession, and whatnot. Nobody else's possession. I freaked out when I didn't see it on site, and that's an issue. But it doesn't take away that me and him have been arguing. It doesn't take away that he kind of been a little rude and disrespectful. Um, Even this morning, no good morning, no nothing. I woke up early. I started molding my hair, and it wasn't really coming out as flat as it is now. I had to wear a cap. And so I just took off my cap, and it's flat now. I had to use the Gots to be spray to spray this shit down because it wouldn't stay down. It would get curly when I used the glue, and then it would just kind of like jump back up. And I didn't want that. I wanted it flat, flat, flat. But like I said, I didn't use no, so that's what I get. Happy belated. We had a mission today, and I'm glad we. I don't have to worry about no fucking taxes until next year. So I'm glad that that's over. Um, I had my little attitude, but I didn't want to show too much this morning. And so he calls the fucking Uber, and like I guess the Uber calls back. And usually out here the Uber drivers are females. So I was a little annoyed about that this morning. He kind of like was looking out for the Uber. He answered his phone. It was Uber driver, and that kind of got annoying. Just like with like being there, like I'm a little girl, like um, and it's just like I don't have no issues with him talking to females. It's just I'm not feeling nothing this week. Like I'm not feeling it. Um, and so she calls back, why? And I hear him saying, what did he say? I hear him saying something, but it was like that call didn't need to be made. If you're not really parked outside yet, then what the fuck are you calling about? Um, so I can't remember exactly the exact words, but it was so annoying. And so he's looking out, the cab is not there, but yet the cab driver called. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Um, so he opens his door and he's just like looking out, and then I guess um he calls back and he's like, how far away are you and stuff like that. And the lady's like 5 minutes. We wait extra 5 minutes, and I'm getting up because he's really by the door. So I'm like, I can't tell if he's gonna like leave me, let me know that the cab is here because we're not talking. So it was awkward. And so I get close and I see that I have mail. So checked the mailbox yesterday or the day before, but they didn't tell me that I had mail. And I wasn't really checking my mail, so I couldn't tell if I was informed that I had mail. So it was just I see envelopes right there. I'm reading them and I see that they're for me. So I'm like, okay, this is like the second time he does this. And before all of this, he used to put the fucking mail on the table so I would know if I got mail or not. So I'm not sure if he's forgetting how shit used to be or just doing shit on purpose to irk me. And that is very annoying for an adult to do to another adult. Period. And I'm like trying to read the mail, but then I guess the cab was outside, and literally the door would have smacked my fucking face. He like just left, and was mad windy. He left, and he left, and I come outside, and I'm like, I'm witnessing him crossing the fucking street. The cab driver didn't park directly in front of the house. The cab driver parked like if like we was doing fucking fractions, like across the street, but to like the side, all the way across the street, and the street is wide because it's a two-way. It's a two-way street, so the street is wide. So he's like crossing all the way over there, and then it starts pouring a little bit, like spring showers. So like 1 minute it's raining, but then the next minute the sun is out, and then the next minute it's like raining. And so I didn't come out with no fucking umbrella. I had a cap on, but I had my bag and my documents in there and stuff like that. And everyone who knows me knows I do not like to get my documents wet, which is why every time it rains, I make sure I have my umbrella. But this time I'm like, we're not really gonna be walking outside. We're gonna be in we're gonna be mobile, so I should be okay. So the bitch wanna park all the way across the fucking street to the side, and he literally couldn't tell the bitch make a U-turn, like make a U-turn. So I thought that was a bit rude and disrespectful, and he knows where we were going. So I'm like, okay, because I'm like, I don't mind an extension. I could reschedule, but I'm like, nah, this is the mission for today. But I'm like, I'm not crossing the fucking street. You better make this fucking cab do a U-turn. So I'm standing there waiting, and then it starts pouring a little bit. So now I'm counting the fucking seconds. Basically, at this point, I'm counting the seconds to see what's gonna happen. And he really got in, and the cab made a U-turn and picked me up. So I get in. I could have cursed the bitch out. I could have cursed him out. But obviously, it was being done on purpose. There was no cars in front of the house. I don't see why the bitch couldn't park in front of the house. Um, like, what the fuck are we staring at all the way over here that you had to park all the way over here? And that's not right. Um, and I'm like, he's asking me, no, I think the cab driver was asking me what's the address, and he's like, so where are we going? And I'm like, we're going to where you file your taxes, because obviously I don't have the address, which is why I asked him to come with me. I don't want to go back and forth on my phone and look for the address. I didn't jot the address down, and I know he knows the address by heart. So why not tell the fucking cab driver where we're going? And I'm saying it in a tone where I'm not trying to argue with you, but I could give two fucks if the bitch in front of me can see us arguing. Like, like it just doesn't make sense to me why he's being such a fucking douche. Um, and I know that it comes back as, oh, she got issues, she's pregnant, blah blah blah, she's bipolar, and it's none of that. It's more common sense. Um, because the fact that the bitch called back on some let's mingle type of tone, you're already annoying me. And the way bitches operate, one already told the other already told the other, and then whenever they in contact with him, they're gonna annoy me. So that was annoying. Um, and I know he understands, and I know he knows that it's annoying me, and I don't know why he keeps it going. So we get to the place. It's raining. It's pouring now. The bitch try to do the same thing. So we park right across the street from the spot, and he gets out because now I'm paying for the cab. He gets out and walks to the fucking tax spot, and it's pouring. Number one, I'm expecting a gentleman. Like, where the fuck I didn't bring an umbrella. Do you have an umbrella? Why don't you have a fucking umbrella? Um, my computer's running low. And so it's raining. I'm pregnant. Why don't you give a fuck if I get wet or not? Um, and so and so she looking clueless, like she don't know that she got to park directly in front of the spot because it's raining. Now I can't tell if the bitch knows that I'm pregnant or not, but that was annoying, that was annoying. So I'm trying to be nice. I'm not trying to be bitchy when I don't need to be bitchy. I'm not trying to be annoying when I don't need to be annoying. I'm not even trying to be angry when I don't need to be angry. So I realized maybe she's a little naive, or maybe she's pretending to be, just like how I'm reacting to her. And I could tell she was a sweet girl, so I'm not bugging out too hard. But I'm asking her, so how much is the cab? And she's telling me, and I don't have exact change. So I give her a bill, but she don't have change. And I'm just like, okay, well, you can ask him. You can make a U-turn, and you can ask him if he has change. But she's like, you can send it to me through an app. Just give me a number. And I'm just not in a giving my number type of mood. So I'm like, I have this amount. So I was a few dollars short, like $2 short. And thankfully she accepted and whatnot. Um, we get into the spot. The spot has like a bell. You gotta press numbers and shit, like an intercom and shit. And he in front of the fucking spot pretending he don't know what the fuck. Like he don't know how the fuck to get in. So I'm bugging out. I'm annoyed. I'm not about to argue in the rain. I don't. That's not what I want to do. When it's raining, I want to fuck my partner. When it's raining, on some romantic shit. I'm not about to be outside arguing when it's raining. I feel like that's bad karma. Or watch movies with my kids, or watch movies alone, nap, that kind of stuff. Not argue. Um, so that was kind of a turn off and a blow. But I could tell he was tired, he wasn't in the mood, blah blah blah. So we finally get buzzed in. I'm the first person. I feel special. It didn't take too long. Um, I respect the person that was filing for me and stuff like that, like helping me file my taxes. It's been a minute since I'm in front of a professional and filing taxes, so that felt great. But it kind of made me rethink these angry videos that I've been making. But it's like I don't regret any of it. Everything that I mentioned, it's just how I was feeling. But I'm like, wow, he didn't lie to me. He did not take my 1098, so I was good. And it just reminds me of all the other petty shit that I thought was missing. But I'm still missing my black dress and my black long sleeve. Um, my mom found my footprint certificate for my son, so all of that is all good and dandy. But it just be like this, and I don't understand why. And so when we finished, I kind of like felt like I had a fucking egg face, like damn, now I gotta kind of bring this up and possibly apologize or something like that. But I'm like, I'm not gonna apologize because I still didn't get no fucking happy birthday. So I kind of brought it up and I told him, yeah, I found the document when I was showing the lady this other document. I had stapled it. I meant to say I'm sorry, but then I remember, why am I saying I'm sorry to you? And you ain't even say happy birthday to me. And he's just like with an attitude. I forgot what he said, but I was so over it that I didn't want to argue. I could have answered back and it would have started a whole new argument. I kind of wanted to drop that argument and focus on why the fuck you haven't said happy birthday. So I told him, no, he asked me, so where are we going? So where are you going after this? So I'm like, I think Walmart has the baby crib because he had told me that after we file taxes, we could go to Walmart and get the fucking baby crib. Um, and we had also planned to go to a restaurant and have breakfast. Um, I had like coffee and some toast earlier, but I'm just like annoyed why this wasn't even brought up. Um, he kind of is playing like he's my son, like childish, and I think it's being done on purpose. I mentioned certain things to him, and then he kind of flips them back, and so that's how we usually start arguments. Because I don't like being treated like that, and he keeps doing it, so it's annoying. Um, how could you forget the plans that we had for today? How could you forget to tell me happy birthday just yesterday? So what the fuck was on your mind this week knowing it was my birthday week? I'm just confused. So, he's like, do you have money for the crib? I'm like, hmm, and it's just like, and honestly, I don't even want him to purchase the crib until he gets the little rodent situation fixed. And if we do get the crib, that shit's gonna be boxed until I'm sure there's no fucking mouses in the crib. Um, but I don't know. I just feel like, you took off work today. We was already outside. We should have managed to get most of our to-do lists done. Um, it is still early, but it just feels like it's gonna keep raining. Um, and honestly, I don't even know if I want to talk to him today, like all day. Like I'd rather do the silent treatment. Like keep the same energy. Pretend this morning didn't even happen. Um, and I don't know. Like I don't know. I'm just still iffy about the whole thing. It may not be a big deal to him, but it is to me because it's like my first year here. And he's not really trying to make it special anymore. So that's like really annoying. If I feel like he just wants me to be sad and cry every day. Um, I added some lashes. Damn, you see the curls. I got like a bobby pin somewhere, and it didn't even stay down. But these lashes came with I think the curly wig, and because I didn't do my straight wig, I didn't use the lashes that came with those. They're very short. Um, I look like a bear, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So on our way back, he calls the cab, requesting the same person that brought us over there, but I guess she was busy. And so the cab pulls up. It'd be different cars, so I don't even know how he could tell which car is a fucking Uber or whatever. But and to be honest, I'm not even sure if they really are Ubers. I feel like they're like friends of his or some shit. But the car pulls up and I see that there's a passenger in the passenger seat with the driver. So I couldn't tell that was the fucking Uber. But he gets in, like he's getting in. He's opening the door, he's getting in. He opens the door for me. I get in. I think he goes around the other side and gets in. So I'm already annoyed because it's one of our usual drivers, and she's a nice lady and whatnot, but I feel like everything she does is gonna annoy me. Um, um, she gives off that kind of vibe that you kind of just be wondering, did something happen between y'all? Like, and I don't like going through that. I feel mad weird going through that. Um and so she's obviously driving, and she's like talking to the lady next to her, and the lady next to her is really annoying because she now has her phone out and is trying to take pictures of herself. But like once I noticed the fucking camera, she kind of put it down, and I'm just like, don't make me slap one of them. Don't make me slap one of them. God, don't do this. Um, and I literally saw myself punching her and shit like that, and I'm like, I need to work on that. Um, and what else? So it just, there's certain things that when Latinas are talking to each other, it just automatically feels like they're subbing you. I've always went through that, even when I was young. Um, and that should just be annoying. But I'm like, whatever. We're going home. We're going home. We're going home. Today's been a good day so far. I got what I needed to get accomplished and whatnot. And so then he gets out because we're now in front of the house, and I take out my money. Um, I take out my money, and he gets out, and I pay the cab driver, and the cab driver. So I know how much we paid going. So we ain't go nowhere. It's the same distance. So I pay her with a bill, and she gives me change, and I can see how much she already charged me. So I'm like, all right, cool. She tried to play by giving me one bill, and I'm just like, okay, why is she charging me like $3 more? But then she gives me like two singles, so I'm just like, oh, okay. But I wouldn't have mind too much because I already owed the other lady $2, so it's like she would have robbed me for like one, and I'm just like, why is she being so annoying? Um, and I'm just like, whatever. We get in, and I head straight up upstairs to kind of organize my documents and whatnot. And I'm thanking God that today I was able to wake up early. I was able to get to my appointment early and get things done. Um, but as far as the taxes go, um, the lady brought up that, if everything went through, like, and if I was able to claim my kids, I would get a certain amount. But because I couldn't claim them, the amount got reduced, which is normal. I know that already. But I'm just like, I didn't make too much because I didn't work the whole year last year. I worked like about 6 months. So I didn't work too much. I didn't work enough hours like I would have wanted to at another job or whatever. It was something like it was work study, whatever. It was just extra cash to have. Um, but then the amount got reduced. So I'm just like, well, that's weird because the amount she initially told me is still less than a usual child tax credit. Um, Usually child tax credits are like between 6 and 8. My kids are under 16, and she had already mentioned to me that like when they're 16, the credit is definitely reduced to like $500. So I'm like, what? I kind of heard something like that. Like after they hit a certain age, you don't have dependent money anymore. They give you like something really light. Um, so I don't know. So I feel like had I been able to claim them, they would have gave me half of what I was already expecting them. Like I was already expecting at least six, or like at least six. So pretty much it went down to like four. I think the credit was gonna be four something. So that's like half. That's like one kid. Um, and I'm just like, wow. Um, but because it was just me, I get a little a nice little change, because I'm not working at the moment. So it's hopefully it lasts. Hopefully I spend it wisely. I'm not greedy for tax money anymore like I used to be when I was young. Like I'm like, yo. But now it's just like, well, I get it, you know. I get it. If you work too many hours, they take more taxes. If you work less hours, they take less taxes. But at the end of the year, you never really get what you expect to get. Sometimes they give you an amount. You expect that amount. It's not that amount. Sometimes the IRS says you owe this or they overpaid you this, and after a while, it is what it is. You get a little extra change. I mean, it goes on top of your paycheck if you're working. If you're not, then it's a little extra change that just surprises you on any day. Um, and that's how I feel like everyone should look at it when they get their taxes. But these motherfuckers just be bugging. They be bugging. They cash it all out. They show it on social media and they start scamming and all this extra shit. I don't got time for none of that. I need to make sure I file my taxes, and hopefully I make sure that it's a decent amount because I'm trying to keep my credit up. I'm trying to have income coming in at least every year. Um and stuff like that. Like my whole point of view and stuff like that is way different. All I did was add liner and add lashes and do my brows. And I hate makeup on my face for too long. So I'm already itchy to take these off. I should do it now. Um, so they like regular lashes, regular lashes, and I use hair glue. Uh, I haven't used the eyeliner glue yet. So that's kind of what I wanted to discuss. Um, I feel like taxes is a big topic when it comes to people filing, whether they're filing alone, whether they have uh, dependents with someone else, um, and not filing jointly because they're not married or whatnot. You'd be surprised. It's kind of like being pregnant all over again, and you got to figure out the person's medical history and shit like that. Like it just brings back that kind of drama. Um, so it just also brings back like my whole new thought process as far as, do I want to get married? Because if I do still want to get married and we actually do get married, filing taxes would be way easier. Um, because I also don't want to have to go through this down the line. If we don't last, who's gonna file with the dependent, and who's arguing over what amount and whatnot. Like I don't want to go through none of that. Um, so today was a knowledgeable day. We got shit done, but I just wish more was done because like I enjoy running errands when it's raining. I just don't like doing them alone. I like company. Um, and I just feel like I don't want to waste the day. Maybe we could order takeout. I'm not sure, but I'm just like my ground. I'm not talking to him until he says something to me. And it'd be happy belated birthday.